Have you ever wondered why some ideas stick while others fade away? The secret lies in the power of effective communication. It's a craft that can be learned and honed, enabling you to express your thoughts and ideas in a way that not only resonates with your audience, but also motivates them to act. At the heart of this craft are 5 principles, each playing a crucial role in how well your ideas are received and remembered. They are unexpectedness, simplicity, concreteness, stories, and emotion. By weaving these principles into your communication, you can transform your ideas from fleeting thoughts into unforgettable messages. You can make your ideas stick. So are you ready to embark on this journey to become a more impactful communicator? In the next few minutes, we will explore these principles and learn how to make your ideas stick. Our first principle is unexpectedness. It's all about breaking the predictable. Imagine you're walking through a forest and suddenly a tree starts talking to you. That's unexpected, right? Well, the principle of unexpectedness works in much the same way. It's about breaking the routine, the predictable, the mundane. It's about catching people off guard with something they didn't see coming. Now, why is this important? Well, we humans are creatures of habit. We like patterns. We like predictability. It brings us comfort, a sense of control. But it also makes us complacent. We stop paying attention. We tune out. And that, my friends, is where the principle of unexpectedness comes in. It's a wake-up call, a jolt to the system that says, hey, pay attention, this is important. Let's take a look at some examples. Remember the Got Milk campaign? It was unexpected, right? I mean, who would have thought that a question about milk would become one of the most memorable marketing campaigns of all time? Or what about Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech? It was unexpected. It broke the pattern of what people thought a civil rights speech should sound like. And because of that, it grabbed our attention and has stayed with us to this day. So, how can we apply this principle to our own communication? Well, it's about being creative, being bold, and not being afraid to shake things up. It's about presenting information in a way that's different, that's new, that's unexpected. It's about making people sit up and take notice. But remember, it's not just about being surprising for the sake of it. There has to be a purpose, a message behind the surprise. It's about using the unexpected to highlight something important, to make a point, to persuade. So, the next time you're trying to communicate an idea, think about how you can break the pattern. How can you make it unexpected? How can you make people sit up and take notice? Surprise isn't just about shock value, it's about jolting people into paying attention. Next, we delve into the principle of simplicity. This principle underscores the importance of conveying your message in a clear, concise, and compact manner. It's not about dumbing down your ideas, but rather it's about distilling them to their core essence. Imagine a bustling newsroom. Journalists have a knack for distilling complex stories into bite-sized headlines. This is known as the inverted pyramid method. They start with the most critical and compelling information, the who, what, when, where, and why, then gradually narrow down to the less essential details. This approach ensures that even if a reader only skims the beginning of the article, they grasp the crux of the story. Now, let's step into the shoes of a military commander. The commander's intent method is a clear, concise statement of what the unit must do and the conditions the unit must meet to succeed. It's like a guiding star, keeping everyone aligned and focused, even when the situation changes unpredictably. So, how do we apply these methods to our communication? Let's say you're pitching a novel idea to your team. Instead of drowning them in details, start with the most compelling aspect of your idea, the why. This is your headline. Then, hone your commander's intent, the one thing you want everyone to remember and act upon. To make your message even more digestible, consider using analogies or memory flags. These are familiar concepts or images that anchor your ideas in the listener's mind. For instance, if you're explaining a complex technological concept, you might liken it to something simpler and more relatable, like a traffic system or a beehive. In a world bombarded with information, simplicity is a beacon that cuts through the noise. It allows your message to stand out, stick, and spur action. So, the next time you're crafting a message, Whether it's a business proposal, a lecture, or a casual conversation, remember the principle of simplicity. Remember, to be simple is not to be simplistic. It's about distilling your message to its core. Now let's turn to the principle of concreteness. Concreteness, in the context of communication, means grounding your message in tangible, sensory language. It's about painting vivid pictures in your listener's mind, using words that are easy to see, hear, or feel. You see, the human brain is wired to understand and remember concrete information better than abstract concepts. Think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to explain the concept of freedom. That's an abstract term. Now instead, picture a bird soaring high in the sky, unchained and unrestricted. That's concrete. It's an image that sticks, an idea that resonates. Now let's consider professional jargon. Every field has its own set of specialized terms that can sound like a foreign language to the uninitiated. If we're not careful, this curse of knowledge can create an unnecessary barrier between our message and our audience. Let's say you're a neuroscientist explaining the concept of neuroplasticity. You could say neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to form and reorganize synaptic connections, especially in response to learning or experience or following injury. But that's jargon-heavy and likely to lose your listener. Instead, you might say, neuroplasticity is like the brain's way of sculpting itself. It's how the brain changes and adapts like clay based on our experiences and learning. This explanation is concrete and relatable, making it more likely to stick. Remember, your goal is to make your message accessible, not to showcase your expertise. So, avoid those abstract terms and professional jargons that can alienate your listeners. Instead, opt for language that is tangible and easy to understand. Let's not forget that concreteness isn't just about language. It's also about context. The more we can anchor our message in situations and examples that our audience can easily relate to, the more effective our communication will be. In the realm of communication, concreteness is king. And it's through this kingdom of clear, tangible language that we can truly connect with our listeners and make our ideas stick. Our final principles are stories and emotion, the twin engines driving effective communication. As we continue our exploration of the principles of effective communication, we turn to the power of stories and emotion. These two elements, when masterfully woven together, can make your thoughts and ideas not just understood, but truly felt. Stories, you see, are the lifeblood of human connection. They allow us to put ourselves in another person's shoes, to see the world through their eyes. This is why we remember stories far more readily than we do raw data or statistics. A compelling, real-life story illustrates your point in a way that is tangible, relatable, and memorable. Take, for example, the story of the underdog who overcomes adversity to achieve great success. This classic narrative, told and retold in countless ways, captivates us because it speaks to our shared human experience of struggle and triumph. But stories alone are not enough. They need to be infused with emotion to truly resonate. Emotion is the heartbeat of communication, the force that propels your message from the realm of the intellectual to the deeply personal. It's all about creating empathy, making your audience feel what you feel. Consider a charity campaign that shares the story of a single individual in need, rather than presenting broad statistics about poverty. This approach doesn't just inform, it touches the heart and compels action. That's the power of emotional engagement. To combine stories and emotion effectively, you need to be authentic. Your stories should reflect your genuine experiences, and your emotions should be sincere. Remember, people can sense when something is contrived or inauthentic, so stay true to yourself and your message. As we conclude our discussion on the principles of stories and emotion, let's remember this. The most powerful communication is not just about transmitting information. It's about creating a shared experience that touches the heart and stirs the soul. Stories stir the soul, and emotions move the heart. Harness them, and your ideas will truly stick. We've journeyed through the 5 principles of effective communication. We've seen how the unexpected can seize attention, breaking the monotony. We've learned about the power of simplicity, using the inverted pyramid and commander's intent methods to distill our ideas into their purest, most concise forms. We've acknowledged the importance of concreteness, using tangible language that our audience can touch, see, and hear. We've delved into the realm of stories, understanding how inspiring tales can resonate more deeply than dry statistics. And finally, we've touched on emotion and the power of empathy to draw our audience in, making them not just listeners but participants in our narrative. These principles, when applied with care and consideration, can transform the way we communicate. They allow us to articulate our thoughts and ideas in a manner that is clear, concise, yet persuasive. Remember, the power to make your ideas stick lies in your hands. Use it wisely, and the world will listen.